everyone, I am Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Councilmember Paul Krikorian cut the ribbon at the opening of a new tiny home village in District 2. He was joined by Mayor Eric Garcetti and the Hope of the Valley Rescue Mission for the event. All of them unified in the belief that an interim place to live leads to a shot at a better life. Channel 35 was there for the grand opening at Alexandria Park.
You are standing today in what soon will be occupied by as many as 200 people who are currently living on the streets. This is the Alexandria Park Tiny Home Village, the largest facility of its kind in the entire state of California.
Siempre he dicho que no hay ninguna idea muy loca, ni una muy atrevida. Si le dará viviendas a la gente con los recursos necesarios.
Everything is right with it. It's gotten people out of camps near our place. It's got people, at least in a transition system.
Lo que quisiera decir es de la importancia de estos lugares. La gente que está viviendo en la calle está muriéndose en la calle, sufriendo en la calle. Y al tener una opción para venir adentro, para establecerse, para recibir los servicios que realmente necesitan, para luego pasarse a un lugar más permanente.
People are transitioning here. They're going from this into permanent housing. And this is their first step after a long time on the streets.
2 months ago, we gathered together for the ribbon cutting ceremony at the first tiny home community in the city of Los Angeles on Chandler Boulevard. Because it was new, there were plenty of critics and skeptics. Well, Hope of the Valley, your on-site service provider, is here to tell you that Chandler site has been a great success.
It's transformative for the people who will live here. It's transformative for the neighborhood surrounding this park, and it's transformative for our city. And I couldn't be prouder to be opening this facility today.
The LA City Council recently passed an ordinance regarding the distribution of plastic utensils to help curb the environmental damage they are causing. Council members Mitchell Farrell, Paul Koretz, and Paul Krikorian were joined by Heal the Bay and a host of other organizations that celebrated the new ordinance.
Today, the council passed the Utensils on Demand ordinance, which will significantly reduce the amount of items that are wasted that are used for food service. Things like utensils.
The majority of all of these single-use foodware items go into our waste stream. The ocean, the river, landfills, etc. So it's an awareness as much as it is an ordinance.
For the last year or so, many of us have been ordering takeout and eating mainly at home, which means this stuff never gets used. It goes into a drawer, or it goes straight into the trash, where it ends up at a landfill. This is not even recyclable at all. None of this stuff ever gets recycled.
As a council member said, plastics end up in our oceans, they rarely get recycled, and they stick around forever. Heal the Bay has picked up at least 2 million individual pieces of plastic from LA beaches alone.
O sea que el propósito inicial y original por el otorgar los utensilios desechables era de conveniencia para el cliente. Pero ya a través del tiempo todo eso se ha convertido en un desecho directo porque no se utilizan. Y como nada de ellos son reciclables, entonces es un transporte directo del restaurante al desecho.
As we think about ways we can help restaurants recover, reducing the amount spent on foodware accessories is one such way, especially after so many restaurants have increased their spending on these items for takeaway during the pandemic.
We deserve an economy that is regenerative and it serves every single member of this community. That's what we deserve.
We have to think more about where stuff comes from, how it's made, where it ends up, and who ends up paying for that. This effort is good for our climate, it's good for our water, it's good for the air we breathe, it's good for our bodies, and it's good for our communities.
Councilmember John Lee is hard at work finding funding to aid and support the residents of District 12. This month, he works with Project Elevate to give financial aid to some lucky students at Chatsworth High School. Take a look.
When dealing with students who are facing the high cost of fees for AP tests, for application fees to colleges, and we never want someone's financial situation to be a hindrance to their success. And so we get to proudly launch our newest program, Project Elevate, here at Chatsworth High School that will help them and help our college counselors who have identified students who fall sort of in between the gaps. They could be part of families who've been affected by the pandemic that we've all been going through for the last year. And now there is someone out there that is going to help them to pay for those fees.
This amazing donation from Project Elevate has helped myself and many Chatsworth students relieve our stress by removing some of the financial obstacles in our path. My fellow classmates and I are thrilled to be recipients of this program and hope the benefits of this program will continue supporting us and future chancellors in our journey towards higher education. Thank you.
The Change Reaction is really about ensuring that for Angelenos, that emergencies don't become catastrophes, which can happen very quickly when you don't have a financial safety net. So being a financial safety net for the working class, and also providing opportunities and investing in opportunities for people, like Project Elevate. You can't think of a more kind of worthy group of young people than people who are working hard, studying. You heard Maya's speech, helping her parents, taking care of her siblings, taking AP classes, and trying to piece it all together. And so our investment is so worthwhile to see a young person pursue their dreams and their goals.
Wow, those kids look really happy. Councilmember John Lee recently spoke with Channel 35's Maria Hall-Brown about a more serious issue: hate crimes against the Asian American Pacific Islander community here in Los Angeles. We'll have that story for you later in the program. Earlier, we reported what the City Council is doing to step up sustainability efforts in Los Angeles. And over in the community of Reseda, MTO, Shamashudi, and Tree People were joined by Councilmember Bob Blumenfield for more grassroots approach. Watch this.
We are so excited today. We are out here through a partnership with MTO, Tree People, Councilman Blumenfield's office, and also LAUSD. And MTO lovingly grew these amazing pomegranate trees, and we're giving them out for free for community residents in West Valley today.
MTO Shamaksudi has been really active in the community, and as of just a couple months ago, we had started our newest initiative, which is our MTO sustainability goals. And so right now we have participation through tree giving events, tree planting events, seed giving, and really just doing what we can as students and as an organization to sustain these environmental goals.
Nothing beats Mother Nature. And Mother Nature is the best way to cool down our environment, is the best way to heal our atmosphere, and it's a great way for people to connect as well and to feel better about the times that we're in.
Es muy importante estar acá porque adoptando un árbol ayudaría más a la tierra y tener más oxígeno más limpio. Y pienso que es un ejemplo que también darle a la familia.
It's great. More trees is better for the environment, and it'll help the air quality. So.
In the future, I'd love to see more awareness of what's going on, more awareness of climate change, more awareness of the importance of spreading greens around our community. One tree goes a long way. One tree teaches an individual about balance, about how to love their tree. So by doing that, we're really hoping to spread those seeds of love everywhere around the community.
Because they are among the most vulnerable populations during the pandemic, many senior citizens have not been in physical contact with family or friends for over a year. Fortunately, the 65-plus crowd were among the first prioritized for the vaccine. So this population is not only protected, but they're also finally able to gather in small groups. And the team at Family Healthcare Resources was delighted to throw the shindig. Take a look.
a spring event to welcome spring and welcome our seniors back out. It's our organization really tries to help our seniors get all the services and have access to everything they need to have a healthy life. So, you know, because of COVID, they haven't been able to go out and socialize or go to any activities, not even their doctor appointments to some of them. So this was just a way for us to uplift their spirits and also give them back a little bit.
Sí, está bien, me gusta cómo hacen aquí el evento. Dan comida ahí también, cajas de comida a las personas, sí. Ayuda mucho.
Y no solamente ayudarles en tener un par de zapatos, muchas personas no lo tienen, en tener un suéter, en tener una bolsa, en tener una distracción más que todo. Nuestros abuelitos, abuelitas han estado solos por tanto tiempo y creo que es importante que sepan que son parte de la comunidad como cualquier otra persona.
Lo muy importante por convivir y con todo lo que nos están regalando.
I want the community to know that we're here for medical services, we're here for social services, we're here as part of the community. We want them to know that anything they need, they can count on us.
Councilmember Curran Price pays tribute to the lives lost in District 9. Mayor Garcetti launches the LA Optimized Initiative, and Metrolink focuses on track safety. These stories up next on City Beat.
Councilmember Curran Price honored the memories of 1,000 lives that were lost in his district due to COVID-19 with a Hope and Healing virtual event, one in Vermont Square Park and the other in South Park. Each memorial program was a time to reflect and celebrate life, featuring music, inspiring dance performances, and powerful words of optimism from community members and Councilmember Price.
This pandemic has been Team Price's #1 priority. We immediately hit the ground running, putting a plan into place that addressed the most critical needs of our community.
With a sea of white flags as a solemn reminder of how hard CD9 was hit by the pandemic, Councilmember Price also utilized this moment to offer even more encouragement to his district with the announcement of a $6 million pilot program that will aid single parents for an entire year in the new ninth. To watch the virtual memorial events, visit thenewninth.com. Mayor Garcetti has big plans for Olvera Street. As part of the LA Optimized Initiative, the mayor recently announced DiscoverAlveraStreet.com, where small businesses will have access to marketing tools, website assistance, and other resources to help digitize their trade.
Putting them online, helping small businesses in this corridor unlock everything that can come from the digital marketplace.
Olvera Street is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Los Angeles. LA Optimized will offer much needed support to the local shops, vendors, and restaurants to avert fees, red tape, and other logistical hurdles.
Here on Olvera Street, just 3 of 70 businesses had an online presence before the pandemic. So we're stepping in to help, launching the LA Optimized Initiative to make sure that we can walk these businesses through whatever it takes, not only help them survive, but just like this city, to thrive.
For more information, check out DiscoverAlveraStreet.com. Metrolink has pledged to take all necessary steps to ensure riders and employees are safe. Serving 6 Southern California counties with 65 stations, Metrolink was recently awarded a $59,000 federal grant. This will fund a campaign aimed at deterring people from committing suicide on its train tracks. The grant is from the Federal Railroad Administration, who will offer support for Metrolink staff members with training, education, and public engagement campaigns. Metrolink is eager to keep riders and the community safe within the vicinity of their tracks. For more information, visit metrolinktrains.com.
When a tragic event like the COVID-19 pandemic befalls the world, some will focus on the problem and some will focus on the solution. And unfortunately, there will be those that need to assign blame. The Asian American community is no stranger to suffering their share of hate crimes. However, these days it seems to be far more than their fair share. Councilmember John Lee of District 12 talked to Maria Hallbrown about the price of suffering in silence and why the AAPI community won't pay it anymore.
In U.S. largest cities, hate crimes in 2020 actually decreased by 6%. But in direct contrast, anti-Asian hate crimes increased by over 145%.
These types of hate crimes have been happening for a long time now. But now we're seeing these incredibly egregious attacks on people who are the elderly in the Asian American community that are the most vulnerable part of our community is being attacked for no reason. One of the, if you can call them positive things about what's happening right now, the Asian communities coming together right now. Not as different communities, but as one. People who are in power, if you want to make changes to that systemic, issues, the importance of showing up at that ballot, casting your vote, so that people who were in power understood that they needed to listen. What is a hate crime? When do they report something? Why that is so important that you don't just let this incident go by.
I always thought myself, if you weren't physically hurt, then you really don't have anything to report. And now we're trying to get the word out that you need to report every incident. It may just be that you're standing in line and being yelled racist remarks. This needs to be reported.
For us to understand what's going on and to best combat this, we need to hear from them. It's very important that we, as people, not be bystanders to incidents that are happening around us. You have to speak up.
City planning is not just about building houses or developing infrastructure support. We also need to consider the effects of urban development on the wildlife of Los Angeles. Well, Councilmember Paul Koretz and the Department of City Planning are taking extra steps to ensure that the city grows in concert with the existing wildlife. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Paul Koretz, and I'm very excited to be here in the hills over Mulholland to announce the first draft coming out of our wildlife ordinance.
The wildlife ordinance is a set of development regulations to balance the needs of wildlife and the preservation of wildlife habitats with development in the hillsides that have important habitat for plant and animal species.
Ensuring that development occurs in a more sustainable manner, the city can also help to address and manage a lot of other essential goals related to wildfire safety, watershed health, biodiversity, and general climate resiliency, all of which make sure that Los Angeles is a much more livable place for everyone.
So this is a win-win-win in every possible way.
The wildlife ordinance will affect residents and property owners and developers in the wildlife pilot study area, which is in the Santa Monica Mountains between the 405 freeway in the west and the 101 freeway in the east, and roughly Sunset Boulevard to the south and Ventura Boulevard to the north.
This is critical because it will help us protect our wildlife, especially our most endangered species that are up here in the Santa Monica Mountains.
People can learn more about the ordinance by visiting our project website at planning.lacity.org/wildlife, or by emailing us for more information at ourla2040@lacity.org.
This is truly exciting. We are going to save our wildlife, and it's so exciting for us to be able to declare that here today.
There's a pilot program happening at South Park Recreation Center that's all about empowerment and providing a safe space for the young girls of Los Angeles. Pretty in Pink started out with 8 girls and has blossomed to over 300. And the program just keeps on growing. Check it out.
Pretty in Pink is an all-girl empowerment program where we provide activities, we provide resources and empowerment and encouragement to girls. We've been able to provide activities such as anxiety workshops. We've been able to provide anti-bullying sessions. We talked about like anti-vaping. So we always want to give the girls that outlet and a safe environment amongst other women where they can talk about issues that affect them in their environments, in their worlds.
En lo personal, a mí me satisface mi alma, por decir, mi corazón, el poder ayudar a diferentes niñas, sentirse bien, sentirse que tienen apoyo, no normalmente en su casa, apoyo en nosotros, en el parque.
We chose to do it here at South Park because it started at South Park. It started off as a rec assistant. We only had about like 8 or 10 girls that was doing it. This program has blossomed. We have reached over 300 girls in the program, and so we just really take a passion and pride in being able to provide these resources to young girls. The name came about because during Valentine's Day, the girls wanted to do something, and so we started talking, okay, well, let's have a Valentine's Day party, but let's add a little more substance to Pretty and Pink. And so some of the topics that we would have were hygiene, because if you feel good about yourself, then you present well.
We want to be able to make sure that they are exposed to different activities, sports, topics that they may not know all the information, but it's more the support. We want them to feel comfortable enough to talk about issues that they have and to know that there's people and resources here that believe in them.
We've been one of those programs where I wish I had it as a young girl, to have a mentor outside of my immediate family. The park becomes family to us, so we've been able to provide that atmosphere for the girls.
Attention, LA gardeners. Tired of watering your lawn or plants adding to your water bill? Well, the Los Angeles Sanitation Department has a solution for residents lucky enough to take advantage.
My name's Aura Garcia, and I serve as the Vice President for the Board of Public Works. We've held over 8 events throughout the entire city, giving out more than 600 rain barrels.
We've been doing it for more than 20, 30 years on our own little barrels. So now that it's free, you conserve, you water your plants for free.
Oh, a rain barrel can cost you at Home Depot or at Lowe's between $60 to $100. The Department of Water and Power gives out rain barrel rebates as well.
You're getting a rain barrel and you're putting it in an area where it's like the overfill from the roof is coming down. The barrel fills up with water, and then you're literally getting a watering can, and you're taking that water and putting it on the plant material.
Cuando tú capturas el agua que viene de la lluvia, tú puedes reciclar esa agua y regresar y regar tu jardín con esta agua sin tener que usar el agua que tú pagas. Entonces nosotros lo que estamos haciendo es tratando de que la comunidad ahorre un poco de dinero por reciclando agua y nosotros lo hacemos, regalamos estos, todos esos barriles son completamente gratis.
I got free tomatoes and free strawberries today. How cool is that? I mean, a rain barrel and free vegetables and fruit, as well as some seeds. So my kids and I are going to have a fun time planting all this stuff.
See if you recognize this quote. One of my secret instructions to myself as a poet is, whatever you do, don't be boring. Did you guess that one? It was from Anne Sexton, and in our feature story this week, we learned the philosophy of LA City's newest poet laureate, LYNNE Thompson. Maria Hall-Brown reports.
2, 1. With you, I will run with you.
As an oral art form, it actually predates the written word, poetry. But keeping poetry alive and celebrating it in these modern times, I'm delighted to be joined today by the Los Angeles Poet Laureate, LYNNE Thompson. So great to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Everybody comes to poetry. It may not feel like a natural language, but if you listen to kids, they're rhyming. They're making up little verses as they play their games. Language is something to play with. It's trying to name the unnameable. It's trying to capture something that we all suspect we know, but we haven't found the language for. How do we put the language around that?
in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life.
Now there's, hopefully, I think we're dealing with a renaissance for the appreciation of poetry.
This young woman named Amanda Gorman came along, and what she has done for poetry, her poise, and just the power of her delivery at the inauguration, I think has upped the stakes even more, because everyone, of course, is saying, who is that young woman? How fabulous. If you decide you want to be a farmer today, and 10 years from today you say, I really should have gone to Wall Street in the first place, or vice versa, you can do that. I do feel vindicated for people who think, how do you even get there? You figure it out, what works for you to get you to your best creative self. It won't be easy necessarily, it certainly won't be a straight path, but you can do it. But you have to be committed to it. And my goal will be to highlight the poets of all ages and all accomplishments in this city.
To the very end, all because I am a friend.
Take in the Your Author series featuring Cosby Cabrera. Treat yourself to Fijian contemporary dance by VU, and clear your calendar for doggy dialogue for dog families and fosters. All this and more on Things to Do.
Join the Los Angeles Public Library for the latest installment of their Your Author series. Author and illustrator Cosby Cabrera will introduce young readers to her award-winning book, Me and Mama. As the recipient of the 2021 Caldecott Honor, Me and Mama celebrates the relationship between a mother and her daughter. Cabrera's multimedia work as an illustrator, author, and doll maker has garnered worldwide critical acclaim. This free virtual series takes place on Friday, May 7th at 4 p.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. The Los Angeles County Museum of Art is pleased to announce the online premiere of the Fijian dance troupe VU. As part of the exhibition, Fiji, Art and Life in the Pacific, VU will offer a free virtual performance on LACMA's YouTube channel. VU is a newly commissioned contemporary ensemble. They deliver the power of storytelling, sharing the stories of their island paradise through music and dance. VU is known as Fiji's most versatile and internationally renowned performance dance company. They have performed hundreds of shows worldwide to raise cultural awareness. If you're ready to discover VU, their free performance will be available on May 7th by visiting youtube.com/LACMAvideo. LA Animal Services wants you to learn the language of dogs so you can get the discipline results you need. On Saturday, May 8th at 10 a.m., Doggy Dialogue for Dog Families and Fosters will help train you to communicate with man's best friend. Owners and foster parents will have the opportunity to gain a better understanding of trusted training techniques that will benefit the relationship with your pets. The free virtual class with LA Animal Services staff and volunteers goes beyond simple commands and treats. Register and find out more about Doggy Dialogue at laanimalservices.com. Ready to take a virtual tour of an architectural masterpiece? If so, the first and third Friday of every month, you can take a free virtual tour of Frank Lloyd Wright's Hollyhock House. Built between 1919 and 1921, Hollyhock House was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2019. Led by expert docents, each tour will create an immersive and inclusive experience for visitors of all abilities. Streaming live on Facebook for 20 minutes, you'll have a chance to ask questions of the docents and explore different rooms of the famed house. If you want to learn more about the Hollyhock House and Frank Lloyd Wright, visit facebook.com/official Hollyhock House. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.